This is how you will conquer a highly sought-after, much-desired woman. A woman every man wants to conquer. She is a woman highly sought after, much desired. You see her as a challenge, something difficult to conquer. This often happens because you perceive her as superior, whether it's her beauty, wealth, intelligence, or fame. Sometimes, it's all of these at once. You see her as someone hard to reach, a level above yours. However, this is only your perception of her. To another man, she might be seen as someone on the same level, without any fear or hesitation to approach her. And you might think, of course, he's much richer, more handsome, or smarter than me, he won't be afraid to talk to that woman. No, you're mistaken. The value perception a person has about themselves says a lot about their beliefs regarding what's inside and what's outside. You will interpret a woman as a challenge according to your beliefs, according to what's inside your head. And here's the thing, to conquer such a woman you see as difficult, as superior, as more this or that, you need her to perceive your value as equal to or higher than hers. Women don't fall in love with men who perceive their own value as inferior to theirs. It simply doesn't happen. And it's not because she doesn't want to, it's because emotions don't work that way. You probably don't fall in love with a woman unless you perceive her value as equal to or higher than yours. So, you must never belittle yourself in front of her or in the environment you're in. If you belittle yourself every time you place her personal value above yours, you shouldn't say phrases like, "Still, how could you like a guy like me?" or, "A woman like you can have any man she wants, why are you talking to me?" Or, "Do you mind being with an unemployed guy like me? I'm so lucky to be with a woman like you," or, "Do you find me attractive? I've always been rejected by women in the past, and it makes me feel bad." It's not that after a relationship you can't open up about some issues that make you feel bad with this woman, but in a conquest process, you can't diminish your perception of value, the value perception she will have of you. And all those phrases I mentioned are things that can be seen, and that you're diminishing your value, but in your physical language, in your body language, in your gaze when you're talking. Once, a woman was sitting on a bench in the mall, doing flow counting work. A man sat next to her and, after 5 minutes, struck up a conversation. He said something about the mall being very slow, and the girl agreed. They started talking in a super nice conversation. He seemed confident and calm. At one point, he asked what she did, and she explained that she worked in accounting, had a postgraduate degree in business management, and improved businesses. At that moment, something strange happened. His facial expression changed, became more closed and worried. She asked what he did, and he started stuttering, showing insecurity. Finally, he said he had worked as a security guard at the mall and was trying to become a firefighter. It seemed almost like he was apologizing for his profession. What made him lose his shine there was the way he showed insecurity about his position. He started talking and acting with insecurity. He wasn't the confident man she had known anymore, but rather someone super insecure. You might then think, does social status matter? And yes, some women care. I can tell you that there are women who do, but for most, it's less. If you show yourself as a secure man in relation to your position, your decisions, your lifestyle, this security in the face of a possible inferior position, will make her even more intrigued, more attracted to you. Certainly, you've seen men with women and thought, how did he make that woman like him? Well, I'll tell you now, what he did was make her perceive his value as equal to or higher than hers. He conveyed so much confidence about who he was that he made her feel attracted to him. I've seen countless cases of couples where the man could consider himself in an inferior position, but when he doesn't see himself that way, doesn't convey that to the woman, and she doesn't see him that way either. So, understand, it's not your position, whatever it may be. If you're less known than the woman, if you're less beautiful, less rich, or less educated, it's not that. It's not your position that will make her see you as less valuable than her, it's how you show yourself being in that position. What is the value perception that you show you have while being in that position? That's what will make her perceive the same way. You have to treat a woman, even if you see her as someone much more than you, someone much more of this or that, you have to treat her as if she were your neighbor, as someone exactly like you, without fear, without frills, without formalities, exactly the same. Many men, when they see this woman, get nervous, get scared to approach, and such. When you do that, she'll perceive you with inferior value. Now, when you approach openly, without fear, without frills, unafraid to speak or make a joke or two, she'll feel comfortable by your side, she'll see you as equal to her. I'll tell you another story. One day, a group of friends and I went to another friend's house. His house was very beautiful, with a large pool, a real mansion in a gated community. His parents built it, and he lived there. It was me, a group of friends, and a couple of friends, my friend I'll call Raphael. When we got to his house, Raphael started to seem a bit down, looked around and didn't seem to have fun with us, although he's a super laid-back guy. His girlfriend, whom I'll call Bruna, was excited and calm. After we left, Raphael told Bruna that he had felt strange arriving at that house and seeing all those things that he knew he couldn't have in his life. He felt kind of bad about that situation and shared it with her, even though neither of them was close to the social condition of that friend we visited. Raphael put himself in an inferior position, felt down, and later Bruna told me she found it strange, felt a slight loss of admiration she had for him. In this case, he didn't compare himself directly with her but felt inferior in a different situation, showing a perception of inferiority in the face of something he considered unattainable for him. Both in relation to the woman and in relation to the people they live with, whether her family or friends, it's important not to convey that perception of inferiority if you don't want the woman to see you that way. What you need to convey is that you're on the same level as her and don't see yourself as inferior to anyone. No matter where they are, at any party, even if it's a party of a great football player you admire, don't treat everyone as superior to you. By doing that, you give power to other people and take away your own power. The woman also has that perception, even if unconsciously, that you have a diminished value compared to hers. Of course, you can admire other men and learn from them, but never idolize them. You can say that you admire someone and have a lot to learn from that person, but don't flatter anyone, neither her or the people around you. That's how you'll get her attention. While many men flatter and feel inferior, with a tremendous fear of talking to her, you don't. You speak calmly, as an equal. She'll be fascinated by that. So, if you like this video, click like. It helps me because it lets YouTube know that this content is relevant and will distribute it to more people. Comment if you liked the video and if these tips helped, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Big hug and goodbye.